All right, let's tackle this next problem. They give me a percent. They want me to come up with decimals and fractions as well. So one thing you have to remember is if you want to go from percent to decimal, divide by 100. If you want to go the opposite way, from decimal to percent, multiply by 100. Okay, we're given 62.5%. I want to come up with it as a decimal. So what I have to do is I have to divide by 100. If you divide by 100 and punch that in your calculator, you'll get 0.625. How do I write this as a fraction? A couple different ways. The easiest way is to take your percent number and divide by 100. So the easiest way to write this as a fraction is take our percent number. Don't have to put the percent symbol. Rather, I can just divide by 100. And that is more than enough. That's acceptable. In the next question, we're given a fraction. If I want to take this fraction and convert it into a decimal, I can punch it in my calculator. 5 over 14 is 0.357. And now that I have my decimal, I want to convert it to a percent. To convert it to a percent, I multiply by 100. If I multiply by 100, I'll get 35.7%. Now, I think this next one is doable. I think the one after that, though, is a little bit tricky because you have a mixed fraction and you want to convert it into an improper fraction. And just really quickly, a mixed fraction is something like this, where you have a number in front of your fraction. An improper fraction is just like the fractions you're more used to seeing. They have a top numerator, they got a bottom denominator, but they got nothing in front. So again, mixed fraction, improper fraction. All right, how do we get this to look like that? Okay. First thing is, you see this negative sign out front? Leave it over here, out front. We're going to do our work over here. So leave it out front, and then make a fraction. If you don't have a negative sign, just get rid of that. But in this case, we do, so let's put a negative sign out front there. Next thing is, take this number and multiply it by this number, and put it up top. Next step, see how I have this 1? Add the 1. Last step, look at what you had in the bottom, put that back in the bottom. What am I going to get here? Well, 7 times 3 is the same thing as 21. And 21 plus 1 is going to be 22 over 3. So it looks like this is negative 22 over 3. To convert that into a decimal, again, I can punch it in my calculator. Rejoice as well. Whew, the hard work is done. Now it's easy peasy. So we get negative 7.33. And then to convert it into a percent, take your decimal, multiply it by 100. Let's multiply this guy by 100. And I get negative 733.33. All right, I think we will stop there with this question. I think you guys can do all the other ones on your own. Hopefully that was helpful. I'll see you in the next one.